Greetings. I'm Kyle Christian Steele, the CEO and co-founder of Constant Insight, and I want to thank you for joining us today for this really quick presentation about how we're helping one of the largest YMCAs in the United States to better engage their former customers and prospects better by building real-time profiles on these individuals most importantly, using their self-generated data. Okay, so I want to go ahead and take you through these quick slides. Now, the YMCA of Central Florida is one of the largest Y associations in the United States. They have about 250,000 members and an annual budget of around $78 million, give or take. And one of the things they wanted to do was to recapture past members and donors who were part of the organization and left for one reason or another, and then also prospects, people who came to learn about a membership, to join the Y, but did not ultimately sign the dotted line. And there are about 164,000 of these individuals. So they wanted to target these individuals to re-engage them. The goal was to take those people and convert them into either active members, donors, or somehow re-engage them back into the Y experience. And so the metrics were, the desired conversion rate was really simple for them, or not really simple, but it was explicitly stated. Like, look, we need to grab 2 to 3% of the former prospects. That's our desired conversion rate. 2 to 3%, get them to get memberships or become active in the YMCA, and 8% of those who were former members, which call our alumni, to get them to re-engage the YMCA. But there were some problems and some barriers that needed to be overcome for even this little small conversion rate of 2, 3%, or 8% to be to meet that conversion rate, and for this campaign that they wanted to run to be successful. And those barriers were just a lack of information. So they had a spreadsheet with a name, first name, last name, email address, physical address, maybe last day of the membership, but that was it. So these reps and these individuals at the Y were looking to engage these individuals, 164,000, on this type of information. Not a lot there. The next thing is that a lot of this information was outdated. It was just outdated information that was old. And so that also presented a challenge. And then last but not least, there were large gaps in terms of the last time that the Y had touched these individuals, right? Either physically or through a conversation or through some kind of marketing campaign. So these were the challenges that they faced, and that obviously have to be overcome to get the conversion numbers desired. And so here's how we helped. As I stated in the beginning, what we did was we said, hey, you know what? We can help you create updated and real-time profiles of your prospects and your alumni. And here's the caveat: using the prospects and alumni's self-generated data. So this data gets no fresher, no better than what we're about to offer them, because it's generated by the prospects or the alumni. It's generated by the people. Okay, so how it starts with us is they took 164,000 email addresses, they run them into our system, Constant Insight, and then what we do is we go out there and we help them connect the dots, right? So we go out there and we collect public information that's been generated by these people from across the web. Okay, so that includes social profile pictures, where all their social identities are, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo, so forth. Demographic information that we can pull, and then interest-based information, like what are they interested in. So our people reports that we ultimately produce contain individual profiles with this real and updated data. So this is an example of a profile that we created. So this gentleman, whose email address is here, we created a profile, and it starts off with some photos of him, right? So we pulled this photo from Facebook, Twitter. He has 2 Twitter accounts, actually. And then the next thing we did was we said, okay, his demographic and work history. We went and we pulled that information from LinkedIn, and we get obviously his first name, his last name, where he's located, his gender, and then any other websites that he's associated with, including who he currently works for, right? His organization. So we see that he's over at EarthAid. He started in 2011. His tenure didn't last that long, but he was a software engineer. The next thing we do is we say, okay, what is he interested in, and where's his social media presence at? So that way we can begin to uncover his motivation. So in this, we see that he's interested, and he consistently talks about Tokyo, television, Massachusetts software development, and then Boston. Okay. So now we know what his motivations are and what to center conversations around. And then we also have his social media accounts, right? We have his friend feed, his Foursquare, his LinkedIn, his Flickr, his Google profile, his Facebook, and so forth. And these are clickable links. So if an individual wants to dive in and get more information about this person, they can just simply click that link and be taken right to that social profile and look at the public feed and learn a little bit more about that person. Next, we also help these organizations spend their resources in the right place with a global view by presenting a global view of where people are at and who's the most influential, right? So, of course, people are going to be at Facebook and Twitter or on Facebook and Twitter, but then there's also some other hidden gems out there where your audience may be present. And so we want to reveal that information to you so now you know exactly where they're at, so you can begin to craft your message along their interests in those particular channels. And then most importantly, when it comes to a brand, it's all about getting the brand message out there, and who better to get it out there to than people with significant influence out there in the space. And so we're able to tell you which members of your audience have the largest influence, so you can direct your efforts clearly at them, and then hopefully give them the information that entices them to want to spread your message far and throughout their own personal networks. And then last but not least, to create better content by understanding what's most relevant to your audience. So based on the interest, the topic information, which is what people are interested in, we create this picture that shows you, okay, this group or this audience is interested in business or Boston or software or venture capital or marketing. Now you have the words to be able to create content around those subjects which will resonate with your audience better. Now, going back to the YMCA, we found lots of data. 164,000 people were uploading the system, and approximately 53% of those email addresses we found new data or self-generated data on. Okay, so that was 86,000 people that now the YMCA had more than just 4 or 5 columns. Now they had what they're interested in, their social profiles. So now the conversations can now become a lot more engaging, and the people can be a lot more informed about the motivations of these individuals. So the YMCA used this data in 4 different ways internally into this campaign to get this 2 to 3% in prospect conversions, and then 8% in alumni conversions. So the first way is to match people with the right staff. Don't have a person who's highly interested in biking, talk to someone who's not interested in biking. Match them with someone internally, a staff member who's interested in biking, because by doing that, it allows a rapport to be built that facilitates an easier conversation and a higher likelihood of that individual being converted back into the YMCA. And so what they wanted to do was match these 164,000 people with the right staff members to have the right conversations with them to bring them back into the fold. The next thing they wanted to do was create smarter reps. So as these individuals come into the Y to look into a membership, as the rep collects the application, they simply run their email addresses through our system, and now they're able to see clearly what are the motivations of that individual. If they're interested, highly interested in weightlifting, then don't show them all the other stuff in the Y. I mean, yes, show that stuff, but put the most emphasis on how awesome the Y's weightlifting or free weight facilities are. And so that's what we mean by creating smarter reps, giving them the information so they can target that conversation during that tour to tailor the interest of the prospect. The next two is create relevant content and obviously place that content clearly into the right channels. We've given them the buzzwords or the information that people are interested in, and now they can create content around that. And we've told them where their audience is, and now they can place that content into the right channel. And then last but not least, obviously in the right channels, is engaging these individuals on social media. So the why is literally going in, clicking the user's profile or the prospect's profile, whether it's their Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and then they're engaging them individually within those channels to also help bring them back into the fold. So that's what we're doing over at the YMCA. And I want to thank you for joining me today. And if you have additional questions, please feel free to contact us at info@constantinsight.com. Once again, that's info@constantinsight.com. Thank you very much. I'm Kyle Christian Steele, CEO and co-founder of Constant Insight. Thank you and have a good day.